Learn to be super successful. Subscribe to my channel, Meathead. Another question about the Belgian waffle. Did you have another one? There's always a guy who can depend on to have another question. And early on, this is only the first day, but I have a feeling that Mr. Switzerland here, look how innocent he looks. He's an asshole, really. But I mean, how innocent. And that innocent look sells. I'm not making fun of it that way. Most of you need to go back and have a remake. What do you call it? On TV when they remake you? Yay! Most of you in this room need a fucking makeover. Okay, go ahead.
It's not specific to him, but in general, and it's something we may cover later on. But it was in regards to the first exit, if you have any recommendations, whether it's strategic or other.
His first exit? He hasn't made his first exit yet.
No, first exits in general, if we have.
Well, I say, you like the famous movie with Show Me the Money is your first preference. Who's going to pay the most? But it's not that simple. Because as Dr. Adele, the bald-headed guy that was sitting there asking the question, he's interested in exit. He did his acquisitions while he was in the military. He was Donald Trump's dentist. And he's out of the military now. And we are the proud owners, I'm his chairman, of the highest gross margin dental practice in the United States. 60-some%, which is unheard of. And so they had 3 or 4 other dental roll-up guys there, and but he runs it like a battlefield. He takes no prisoners, and we instituted the big BBB model, big boob blonde model. Everybody that works there is good looking, like showgirl good looking. Everybody there has big tits, and they're tall. And we get people coming from Dubai to have their teeth cleaned for $3,000. Teeth clean is not $3,000. God forbid you should have a fucking cavity, $5,000 to $9,000. And I'd like to say it was my idea. It wasn't my idea. I'm all for big tits and blonde, but but they all want him to stay, like he said, 5 years. And you name the EBITDA, just stay 5 years, because they want him to perpetuate that and teach other dentists how to do that. He did it while he was on active duty. We've got a lot of guys that have done it on active duty. Other questions? Did I answer? Yes.
Quick question. Do you think he goes to his own dentist? Does he use his own business's services? When you buy a business, would you buy from your own business?
No, he wouldn't buy his own business.
No, would he buy a service from his own business?
Would he go get his teeth cleaned? Yeah, but they're going to clean it for nothing. Like, you're going to have a heart transplant. You go to your buddy that's also a heart doctor to do the transplant, and all they charge you is the hospital fees, not the fee. But heart transplant used to be able to put $25,000 to $50,000 in your pocket. Now you put $2,000 to $3,500 in your pocket. DeBakey used to be my doctor, one of the 2 great heart transplanters of all time. Lebanese, he's from Calcasieu Parish, Louisiana. He wasn't, even though he's Lebanese, he was never in Lebanon. They didn't charge each other when they operate, But anything else about TK or anybody for that matter? Who's my 530? 6. Are you sharing? Oh, okay. Are you a couple? No. 6. Raise your hand again, 6. Are you 6? 630. Are you sharing again? Well, why are you raising your hand if you're not 6 or 6:30? What? He's 6:30. Yeah. Are you sure you're not 6:30? Hey, 6. Are you sure you're not 6:30? I haven't seen a threesome in my office in a long time, especially with guys. Well, you got to clarify that somehow. Okay, so raise your hand again. 6:30. Okay. And then we meet here approximately 7. Again tonight. I'll explain it to you after dinner. The homework that you're going to have. Any questions? The last member of our group joined us an hour or so ago, Dustin. He'll have time to say his thunder later on. And we don't expect any more to join us. I never say never. We shouldn't have anybody leaving, but occasionally we do. This is so beyond their comprehension of not being civil that they leave. Well, I don't really give a shit, There's no refunds. Are you going to say it's not civil? What? What's the deal? Yes, sir.
Since Carnegie's Castle's there, just reminded me a question. He applied vertical and horizontal integration back then. Does that still work nowadays in companies?
No. Well, I won't say not as effectively as it did 100 years ago. Okay. But it doesn't. But it's a nice estate, Skibo. I looked at buying it in 91. I didn't. And a private equity guy bought it for twice as much as I was willing to pay. And I had agreed the price, but I walked away when I started to see how much money this was costing me to renovate. And but it's pretty nice. It's not as nice as this estate, and it's not as well manicured as this estate. It's not as well manicured, which means we have more gardeners. And you have no idea how temperamental gardeners can be. How the fuck? Chefs I know are temperamental. But gardeners? And then we have greenskeeper. And greenskeeper is like, don't talk to me about gardening. They have to have 4 or 5 levels of more education about keeping their green bad. Again, this is the second worst investment I ever made, this place. The second worst. The first was in a thing called let's see. I think it was called AccuTube. It was a 1967-8 Accu cartridge. And it was going to revolutionize television, yada, yada. And I bought a bunch of it in stock, and it went to zero. But more importantly, or worse, is that I got all my corporate clients to buy it as well. And they taught me a sober lesson that I don't shit and eat in the same place. Now, they mean that when you're having affairs with women and shit. So I don't invest in that. I haven't since that day. Have never invested in anything that my friends have invested in. My family never had any money to invest, or any of my colleagues or clients. I've never invested with them. And I've invested in some dynamite shit over the years, but that went to zero. And I even had the lady that lived across the street from me. Her name was Sue Lawrence, God love her. She invested in it, and it all went to zero. Taught me, fortunately I was young, it taught me a good lesson. It's like some of you have loaned money to your family. You gave it to them, you didn't loan it to them. A year or two ago, somebody paid me back $25,000. We had written it off so many years ago, and so our accountant, Angus and Sally, where do we put this? I don't know. You figure that out. But I'd loaned him $25,000, and when he was down and out, a relative. And one of the only relative ever paid me any money back. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that's it for today. I will see you back here for dinner. I'll see you at 5:30 in a few minutes, 6 and 6:30. Your uniforms, as you've already been told, I believe, are in the room beyond the dining area next to within the bar, and we're not giving you those. We rented them for you out of our money. Some of you morons take them home. I mean, I don't know how you got here. Some of you, I really don't. God must be sitting on your shoulder or something, because I don't know how the fuck you got here. You live in that parallel world that I left, if I was ever in it. That parallel world of poverty, I call. I've been there a long time. And as Sally and I would say, we've been rich and we've been fucking poor. And I could put a bullet in her head, or put a cyanide down her throat and put a bullet in my head before I'm poor again. That's a guarantee, you two. Okay, see you later.